Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John and this is an unboxing of the Quatermass Xperiment. This massive set from Hammer. It's just been released in 4K. What I'll do is I'll get into this box and I will open it and show you everything that's inside it. And then I'll go away, check it out. What I might do is I might try and watch the film fully before I come back on this video. I've been wanting to watch the Quatermass Xperiment for quite a long time. And it's not an easy one to get in the UK, and I'm glad that Hammer have put this out, because these ones that they're putting out now, the same with Captain Kronos, it is a one that I've been after. Kronos was a one that you couldn't get easily in good high definition, well, Blu-ray in the UK, and they put that right. We're putting the 4K out, which looks absolutely stunning. And let's get into this and see what this is all about, because if it's anything like the recently released and now out of print Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter, then it should be equally as amazing. So, what do I say? Nurse, Barry Scalper, please. Thank you. Take this off. Watch me fingers. I'll be leaving the shrink wrap on at the moment, but I will be getting another protector for this. And just to bring this in quickly, this is the protector that is on my box set for Captain Kronos. It's the one I've found that is the closest to it, but you still got a bit of a gap. It'd be nice if it was a bit more, compact, like some of the other ones are from Steelbook Sentinel. This is an FCF 18 if you want to get one of these. You can get them in packs of 2, so that's not bad, is it? But I will be getting another one for the this Quatermass Xperiment set. But that shows you that this one's fully protected. I have still got the shrink wrap on. I will be taking it off, but just at the moment it's just there. And what a set that is. Okay, let's finish off getting into this one. Next up, in the way of this set, this size, is going to be Quatermass Xperiment 2. And I can't wait to see that one. Now, I'm sure, I know I've got quite a good recollection of the Quatermass Xperiment. It used to be on the TV all the time. Or it seemed like it was back in the day. These days you don't get anything like this on the TV. Sadly, just to check them out. Well, you might do, but I never seem to come across them. This though, is a really highly anticipated film for me. Right, so let's see what this is all about. First of all, this box, just to look at it, really sturdy box. You've got this information down there. 1955 this is. You've got Dolby Vision on the 4K. And on the bottom of the box you've got Victor, where's green? Where's Reichenheim? What happened? Yeah, stunning. Now, if I take the shrink wrap off, this J card only goes to there and it falls off immediately. So at the moment, I'm keeping that on until I get me protector. But amazing box. And there's your interior box with stunning artwork. What I don't usually do is I don't check these things out online to see what they look like. Prefer to see these firsthand. Look at that. Beware of the creeping unknown. If they were on, Quatermass Xperiment 2, if they were on the shelves, I think that'd be good. I would like to still keep the actual logo, but maybe change the colour. Possibly. Because I know Captain Kronos has a red font. So this is all the stuff you get in it. And there is a massive amount of stuff. Let's take a quick look at this box. Nice, super hard box there. Totally stunning. The smell of this is fantastic as well. We've got that printed ink smell. This film is a good film. It's one of the thing I like about these films from 1955. It's a sci-fi film. Now, don't forget, nobody had been to the moon, or probably not much in space either. So all these things, nobody knew for certain what was out there. Well, probably still don't really. But yeah, so that's the outer box. First up, you've got this. Go the Quatermass Papers, Volume 1. Oh, so imagine Volume 2 will be in the next box for Quatermass Xperiment 2. This is what a boot this is. Probably everything you would want to know about this film. I do remember seeing in a lot of magazines or books back in the day, there was a lot of photographs from Quatermass. It had the iconic photograph of this guy who had, you know, the hand, because he's gradually turning into something. And you used to always see him in the horror magazines. Can't wait to see this again. So that's it's an absolutely fantastic book. Lovely artwork on there as well. Also, you get the Quatermass Xperiment. I was gifted an early set of amazing magazines from Hammer. I've showed them before. I will go and look through them and see if I have got this one in amongst them. Because I would imagine this is a facsimile of what was in that magazine / comic. This was great when you used to see these magazines come out, because you had no way of looking at this. I remember that picture. I'm sure I must have either had this one or seen it. That one really stands out to me. And this was kind of the only way you could see these things when there was nothing out there. There was no physical media at all. So before the internet and social media, this was probably the only way that you could see stuff like this or revisit it without it getting shown at the cinema or late night on TV. But this is one you could look through, and I used to look through these all the time, because these Hammer stuff, it was that good that you want to revisit it, like you would want to watch this film over and over again, but you couldn't do that. So this was the next best thing. Amazing. Also as well, you get these art cards. So you get the original UK lobby cards facsimile, card 1 of 8. That's on the back of there. Lovely size this. These would be good for displaying. Yeah, that was in a lot of horror books back in the day. So Quatermass, who is a scientist or professor, he was portrayed in this film and the other films. I think there's another 2 films and there's some TV series. He's always played by a different person. So there's your art cards. Get a poster as well. Brilliant this. Beware of the Creeping Unknown. This has got to be an alternative title for this film. It's got the same cast. Here's a French poster as well. And lastly are the discs themselves. Wraparound art. Amazing, absolutely amazing artwork this, as they are on Captain Kronos. So that's stunning, really is. And there's your disc there. You get the Quatermass Xperiment in 4K. You get the Creeping Unknown, which is a US theatrical version, so that's obviously the US title. I don't know what the differences are. Be interesting to see if there's any. There is the Quatermass Xperiment in Blu-ray, the Creeping Unknown on Blu-ray, and also you get here the Quatermass Xperiment, which is the surviving BBC episodes. I do know there's only 2 surviving of this series, and the rest of them I think are on text format, which isn't the best of things, but as you know, like with Doctor Who, these things got wiped. They didn't care about, you know, preserving, which is incredible to think that became a thing, but yeah, sadly it was. So there you go, that's a look inside. What I will do now, I'll go away, I'll have a check of this out. I will try and watch it before I come back and do my final review on this. I kind of do know what this is about, but I want to go and refresh my memory by watching this one. So, to recap, here is this hard interior box. In there, you do have all your discs housed in this great fold-out binder. You get your 8 lobby cards. Your poster, double-sided poster. You get your Quatermass Xperiment graphic novel, which I believe is culled from the amazing magazines or comics, the Hammer House of Horror. And you also get this unbelievably big book, which looks like volume 1. I would imagine volume 2 will be in Quatermass Xperiment 2 or Quatermass 2. There you go in there. That's a beautiful bit of artwork, that really is. And there is your overall box there. What a set. Right, I'm going to go off and I'm going to check this out, and I'm going to come back and tell you what I think of the picture quality, and also what I make of the movie, and tell you about some of the extras. So see you in about 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back to talk about thoughts on the Quatermass Xperiment. Now, I watched this the other day, and I've got to say I had a blast with this film. I haven't seen this film for a long time. When I look back on it, I used to watch this quite a lot on the TV. And when I went back to watch it this time around, there was a lot of things that I couldn't remember about the whole film itself, a lot of the plot twists. But the actual flavour of the film, I got the same vibe as I did when I watched it when I was a young kid. Now, this film really feels like it kind of mirrors in elements Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein. If you know this film, you know what I mean. Now, this bloke who comes back from space and he's been affected by something, and he actually starts turning into something. I think that's as far as I want to go with that one. And he is like a tragic hero. In this film, you can't help feeling sorry for him, a bit like Frankenstein. And that whole thing where he goes and Frankenstein goes into the woods and he sees the young girl by the pond. There's a scene in here that reminds me a lot of that. Now, the thing that I got from the film the first time around and I got from this one, I got that feeling of this whole person. It was a great, actually, the actor who played this, the fellow in Quatermass who gets tainted by this whatever, this alien thing, he is brilliant in it. And he's really, is a thing that you take from this film. Now, all the other stuff about it, I couldn't remember at all. So I watched the restoration featurette, and this talked about the fact that Quatermass has not come from the original camera negatives, unfortunately, but has come from something that's like a step down from that. And I've got to say, and they talked about the use of HDR on here, on this extra, and they said they got the black levels on here, inky black, and I've got to say they did. So even though they haven't been able to locate the original camera negatives, the black levels on here look absolutely amazing, and it does elevate the quality of this. Even though it's not from the original negatives, it's like a step down, it still looks fantastic. So if you remember at the start of this video, I was talking about some Hammer magazines John Hall brought over from his good friend Alex, and I want to thank Alex once again for giving me those amazing magazines. I will leave a link down below to that video that I did on that one. And I was saying that the booklet in here could be in one of those magazines, so I'll move that to one side and I'll show you this one. This actually, I've talked about this before, this is my favourite one from those magazines, because it's got my favourite actual strip in here, which is The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. And this is this omnibus that's in here. So here it is. This is the Quatermass Experiment, the strip that is in that book. This is the full size one. Now, in the book there, in the magazine that you get with the set, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have this page in the prologue, which is in the film. But here you go, this is the one that's in here. I knew I'd seen some of these pictures before, these faces, and they are replicated in that set there. So it's amazing to get these things again from Alex. Now, speaking of Alex, I have got some more stuff from him. I've got quite a few things I'm going to talk about. And one of the things I'm going to talk about is the stack of Fangoria I got it from. So keep an eye out for an upcoming video where me and John Hall will go through the Fangoria magazines. They are absolutely amazing. If you're a fan of horror, you will definitely have picked up some of these Fangoria things, and these Fangoria ones are really legendary for me. I reckon I remember the covers, when I saw them, I was like, oh, I can't believe I got this one. So I want to thank Alex once again for doing that for me. So what I'll now do for the end of this video is I'll go through the 4 that have been released by Hammer, and I'll rank them in the way of how much I enjoyed them and also in the way of picture qualities. First up, I'll go picture qualities. And for me, and they all look good, I'm not saying any of them look bad, the least quality, which is still brilliant, is Quatermass Xperiment. So this is at number 4. The reason why it is because it hasn't went the original camera negatives. The other ones have. So that's why I put this at the bottom of the list. But putting it at the bottom of the list isn't giving it any disservice, because this looks absolutely amazing. Far better than anything else you would see by then. So that's at number 4. So at number 3 is Shatter. This looks absolutely amazing. The picture quality is absolutely brilliant. Got no faults with it. Got no faults with Quatermass. It's just the fact of it not being from the original negative. You can see it's just got that slight dip in what you would say sharpness, but it still looks brilliant. So at number 3, that's Shatter. And at number 2 is the 4-sided triangle. This kind of came alive on 4K. Also, I've watched all the extras, and I watched half of the commentary on one of them with Jonathan Rigby. Brilliant. The stuff you get with this is amazing, mainly because it talks about in depth. It talks about Barbara Payton. It talks about her life, what a life she had. And ironically, the 2 people in here, which is this fella and this fella, he's supposed to be his kind of stepdad, and he's supposed to be, I would say, 30 or 40 years older than him, though actually there's only 5 years between them, and they died in 1983, only 4 days away from each other. He was 70 and he was 75, even though they do look, a lot older and a lot different in age. It was amazing when I found that bit out, although I haven't heard anybody talk about it on this set. But it's great set, great extras, highly recommended. And of course that leaves at number 1 with the picture quality is Captain Kronos. I was going to say Captain Kremen there, but I wouldn't. This is just absolute perfection. You could not have got anything better than this one. It's just incredible. The colours, everything, the sharpness, the look of it, the greens, the colours, the depth is just amazing. Now, if they do, and they've got to do, when they do the big ones like Frankenstein and Dracula, even though I do think Dracula, the Blu-ray does look a bit washed out to me. I know that the Curse of Frankenstein was given a new update on Blu-ray, which I haven't got because I'm holding out, because I know that 4K will come out. I know the first Curse of Frankenstein looked really washed out, and the second one looked good. Now I'm just not going to buy anything more until I know Curse of Frankenstein is going to come out. It's just a question of when. But this one, if this one looks this good, God knows what the other ones are going to look like. So that's absolutely incredible. So now what I'll do is I'll give you, to finish off, I'll give you rankings on what I thought of the films from worst to best. Spoiler alert, there's no worse than these. They were all excellent when I watched them. So at number 4, and not taking anything away from it, is the Quatermass Experiment. This was an absolutely amazing film. Really enjoyed it, was invested in it completely, but there's ones I like more. and I had a better time with them. But that's not going to say if I watch this the second time, probably going to watch this with Deborah. When I get Quatermass 2, I'll probably watch them back to back. And this is great. It's one of the best horror sci-fis you will ever see, especially like the early ones. Some of these ones that you get in the 50s are so daft and ludicrous that they're just not even worth watching. But this one was actually, for what it was kind of believable, the way that they did it. So at 4, that's the Quatermass Experiment. At number 3 and number 2, I'm going to have to put them together because I'll enjoy them so much together if they stand up. So tying jointly at 2 is Four-Sided Triangle and Shatter. If I had to say which one I would have thought just enjoyed that little bit more than the other one, I'd have to say at this point, Four-Sided Triangle would just, and I'm just talking by, you know, a slight bit, because I enjoyed them both. I've enjoyed them all. This one, just I enjoyed that a little bit more, and I thought when I watched it the second time, I enjoyed it. And I think when I watch this, I'll watch this with a Deb soon because it's so good. I think I'll watch it. I think I'll enjoy it even more. What a film this is! It's kind of one of those ones that like creeps up in you and you think, that's all right. And when you watch it again, I think that's going to when I watch it again and again, I'm going to really enjoy it. So of course that means that at number 1 is good old Captain Kronos. This film is astoundingly good. I knew I'd seen it way back when and I did enjoy it. I thought it was like a camp romp, and it is. When you watch it now, you get that flavour of it, but there's a lot more to it than that. It's got some great twists and turns. So for me, these Hammer titles that came out between 1953 and 1974, they do have, you could say there's other films like it, but for me, these really stand out. And I think that's a testament to Hammer in itself. When you know you've got a Hammer film involved, or Hammer Productions, they just seem to elevate them that little bit more for me. And they do this type of thing better than anybody else as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really interested to see what 2025 holds in store for Hammer and what they do release next. Who knows, after Quatermass 2, it could be anything. And also, don't forget my good friend Alex. Thank you very much for all of these things. And don't forget to look at that video if you want to see all the things in these Hammer horror books, Hammer horror magazines. And also keep an eye out for that upcoming Fangoria special. So once again, thanks for watching. You take care, especially you, Alex, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.